Greetings. I am Stony Love, and this is what happened to Amanda Kelly Hines. And at this moment, my answer to that question is I don't know. I am Amanda Kelly Hines' mother. Amanda, being 33 years of age, finally decided to move out and try it with someone that she met by the name of Eugene Crawford. She moved to 1606 Bustle Road in Norcross, Georgia, where she had been living for the past 5 months. When I would speak with her, it appeared that everything would be fine. And then it seemed like all of a sudden things got quiet. And we know that relationships aren't always what they seem or appear. But Amanda was that girl who wished and wanted to be loved. And she sought that love through men. And again, when we aren't loved by our fathers, and when we don't receive that love from our fathers, we're broken. And anyone, you become vulnerable to anyone, and you're almost like a prey, especially if you do not have the strength to understand that regardless if you do not have that father's love, and I'm not here to blame anyone because somehow we all failed Amanda in some type of way, but I'm talking about the root of the problem. Missing a father, missing that male leadership. And she sought that from so many places out in the world. And we all know that this is a crazy world. You must love yourself first before you can love anyone. And I've always told her that. But I never dreamt that I would be using my platform that I use to talk about other people to be speaking of my own. I reported my daughter missing because she failed to call on Friday, the 27th of October. I spoke to her on the 18th. I believe it was early morning, possibly the 19th. And her last words to me were, "Ma, I love you. I want you to know that." And I told her, "I love you too." And she called me back again and she said, "I have no problem with you, Ma. I love you." And again, I reiterated how much I loved her. I didn't think at that time that maybe she was in danger or she was sending me some type of signal because Amanda really just never tell me that she loves me. She was more of a, "I'll show you I do." I hadn't heard from her since that phone call. Usually she calls Elena, which is her granddaughter, on Fridays because Elena's here with me. And we've had the kids since birth because we recognized a long time ago that Amanda had some emotional issues and that it may not have been safe for her to take the children. We wanted her to really focus on her self growth, getting herself together, aligning herself with her path. And she had tried to do that so many times, and that something would always get in the way. So when she failed to call on Friday, I'm beginning to feel this really weird feeling. I can't explain it. And when you are a mother and you love your children, and these are my children, there's one missing. I have four. It's Amanda, Keisha, Keith. And so that's Amanda left. That's me in the middle. That's Keisha. That's Keith. And we're missing Christopher in this photo. It was my 50th birthday last year. And we all came together and she made a big fuss about it. And Amanda is my birthday gift because her birthday is 9/29. And I was hoping to have her on my birthday, which is 9/20. So getting back to when she didn't call on Saturday, I remember the guy, Eugene Crawford. I didn't know his name then, but she would always call him Gino. And so when she came, when he came to my house, I remember that he parked his car, he reversed it. So for me, that was a red flag. What are you hiding? Why can't I see your tag number? So I pretend to be stretching and waiting for them to pull off. And I kindly got his tag number, and it's embedded in my heart. YHF 820. So I called the police and I gave them that tag number. And for sure, they found him. And he said, I've been looking for her too. I haven't seen her since the 16th of October, is what he said. And he said that she had left in an Uber and she was going to some place called the Kraken Crab, and that she had texted him and said that she would be back and that she had made it to her destination. And then that story changed to she was with some girl named T, which later on turned out to be a girl named Tara Collins. And yes, I'm dropping names because at this point, I don't care about these people or protecting them, and they know who they are. So when Norcross police called me back, they connected Gino and I, which is Eugene Crawford. He gave me so many different stories. He said, Amanda's stuff is here. It's on the table. Her coat is here. She left her clothes. He said that she looked like she was missing some makeup. And I'm like, you a man. You don't know if any of her clothes are missing, but you can tell that a little bit of mascara or something is missing. So all of that was a red flag for me. Nobody is going to walk out of the house without their license and leave their coat in the middle of October and not return. And then he proceeded to tell me about one day when he came home and he caught my daughter in some fishnet stockings and a short skirt. And he asked her where she was going. And she said she was going to the Social Security office to talk to them about her benefits. Well, my daughter has some disabilities that requires that she should be on disability. I don't know if he became angry about that because he pointed that out to me. And then he said she changed clothes. And the last thing he seen her in was the gold jumpsuit. He said, with the back out and the white shoes that your daughter bought her. My daughter bought her some beautiful New Balance. I think they were. And they were expensive. And she was for her birthday and she just loved them. So he said that's what she walked away in. So assuming that she was going to come back, she left her license, her coat, and all of her things. When the Lieutenant Dollar called me back from Norcross, he told me that that was a Gwinnett County issue and that um, for me to call them. And when I call Gwinnett County, and this is where we get to Andy Griffith and Barney Fife, and I'm a little frustrated with Gwinnett County. I called and they sent a Officer Pollard out. He's asking me all of these questions. He searched the house. Now he sees my daughter's things because they're on the table. Gino didn't have time to move them. So he says he can't really report her missing because according to them, it's not a crime to go missing. And I explained to them, only rich people take off, never to be heard from again because they have the resources to do so. But someone with no money, no identification, is not going to run off and never to be heard from again. And their phone is going straight to voicemail and leave all of their things behind. Now, mind you, that my daughter knew that I was to have surgery today. And this is why I'm recording this. So that I know that I will be out for a couple of days and I won't be able to follow up with this story. But I want you to have all the information that you can. And maybe you know something or you can share this and someone will be able to say something. So I'm saying to you that Gino, the next day after we spoke, started sending me, good morning, how are you? This is the last message that I got from a girl named T. This is her phone number. And then he forwarded me a message that came from T telling him that Amanda was okay and don't be mad that she's not there. Oh, this gets really, really crazy. Why would somebody be texting you for another person who's supposed to be healthy, alive, and well, and has a phone and can text for themselves? All the red flags are going up here, y'all. So they assigned my daughter to a Detective Araya. And let's talk about, I don't know if he should be on the beat or if he should be out there just running, pulling people over for citations because detective work is not his thing. He was going to allow whoever it was named T text him from a phone and said that she was Amanda. And they sent an old Snapchat photo and put October the 31st on there. And then, if that wasn't all, I'm sorry if you lost me. If that wasn't all, they said that she was at a hotel up in Norcross. And then the detective called her back, the alleged Amanda who they were talking to, and said, could you please have Amanda call her sister? Well, the perpetrator didn't know my daughter's number because they lost their phone. And he said, what is your daughter's number? And my daughter was on the phone. She says, my sister knows my number. I've had this number since the 8th grade. So then he couldn't reach that number anymore. But because he was about to take her out of missing persons based off of a text message. And I was told after I talked to the chief of police, who was very, very nice, and then they ended up giving me to a lieutenant. They decided to dig deeper and understand that this is what they told me. This was a very odd case, that they were getting close, and I would have some answers by Wednesday. So the fact that people have been perpetrating and pretending to be my daughter, I know that my daughter is not okay. So Tara Collins, Sanjay English, Eugene Crawford, and the Strozers, Ebony Strozer, because she went missing as well. It's all somehow linked together. And this all has to do with some type of drugs, sex, and jealousy about my daughter. And I'm just saying, I want answers. I want the truth. This is hurting me every day, my family, my children. Amanda would never go this long without talking to us. I've called her friends. She has a case in Clayton County. She's supposed to call in every week. She hasn't called in. She was calling in, and all of a sudden she hasn't. And that is because she can't. So whoever has my daughter and whatever games you are playing, just know somebody's going to speak up. And those detectives are going to pull you in. You can't cover up what you did. You thought that you were going to get away. You thought that I wasn't going to come looking for her. But I know Amanda posts stuff about me because she was angry about her father not being around. And I was the person to blame for that. And you know, mothers are always the one to be blamed for it. I left. I had to leave her when she was 14. I had to do 9 years in prison for counterfeit, a crime. So I know what it's like to be on that other side of the table. But I'm on this side of the table now, and I walk with God. So criminals, you don't get away with stuff. And you sure don't get away with a body. So I'm telling you that I know what has happened, and something is not right, and I'm a mother, and I ask for anybody that have any information about my daughter, her whereabouts, and what happened to her. It's all connected. My daughter made a police report, and the same people that were texting for her, they didn't know that she had made a police report stating that they were trying to kill her. So it's all on record, and we're waiting for Clayton County to connect with Gwinnett County. This is going to all come out, and all I want is my daughter back. I want her back. Amanda is a beautiful child, regardless of her issues, regardless of her shortcomings, regardless of her emotional issues, regardless of her need to be loved. Amanda Kelly Hines. And I ask you to say her name. And I ask you to post her name. And I ask you to remember her. And I ask you not to forget. And if you see or know anything, please. These are the longest days of my life. And as a content creator, I can't even post other people. All I can do is post my child. This isn't supposed to be this way. That's her sister. And her sister take care of her kids. She take very good care of them. She would never not call her. That's her only sister. She can call her whenever. And the fact that we haven't heard anything, this is the week that her son was born. And the fact that she hasn't made contact is very, 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 very alarming. I ask you today to find it in your heart to forget my daughter, our daughter. There are so many Black women that are missing, really missing. And no one, it's like they vanish. I want her back. I ask that you keep us in your prayers. And when I return, I pray that I will be able to continue to deliver content. But right now, this is my focus. I never dreamed that I would be without my daughter. We had our issues, but she knew that she could count on me. So for all the players that were involved in whatever happened, just know the universe is on our side, and it shall reveal every single detail, and you will be exposed. I will see you on the next video. Amanda Kelly Hines, we love you.